Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to make a little dog bowl stand. So stick with me here and this is what we're going to make. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. You're looking at this very wet, windy and dreary weather outside in the Midlands of Ireland. You think we'd be used to rain all these years, but we still get sick of the rain. Going to tackle a very basic project just to begin with. One you've probably never seen on YouTube. I'm sure there's not many videos on this. But a little dog bowl stand. So we've only got a small dog, but we have three very busy kids and they keep kicking bowls around the floor, not looking where they're going. So I want to put it in a little dog bowl stand that just tidies it up off the floor and yeah, is a little bit less prone to tipping over and getting kicked over and spillages and stuff. What I've got is I like to reclaim wood wherever I can. So what I've got here is I've actually got a couple of oak floorboards and some maple floorboards. So I think I'm going to try and do a little something out of these. And this is going to be just a make it up as I go project. So I'm not really, I've got half a plan. But I've sketched up basically, you know, a basic layout of the top. I haven't even got a design for the legs really. I don't know whether to go for, a table style 4 legs or maybe just go with 2 solid ends, which I might do. So I'm going to figure that out a little bit as I go this morning. But I'm going to, there's a finish on these, so I'm just going to plane off a couple of millimeters on these here now and joint up a couple of edges. To make up the width with the oak on the top, I need to glue it up. So I'm actually going to make use of, I don't know whether you can see it there, there's Tung and Grove joints on these floorboards. I'm actually going to make use of that Tung and Grove joint and I'm going to glue up the 2 pieces of oak for the top of this. And yeah, we'll jump back in then. Okay guys, so I've just taken my maple and I've cut it in 2 to make up the 2 halves of my top. And there's a damaged piece of tongue here, you can see. So I just basically just chiseled that section out, and it should be fine. There's more than enough material left on that tongue to joint it in. So I'm going to glue up now, clamp it up and leave it to dry. cold day today. My glue is not wanting to squeeze out of the bottle. So I've just got a couple of strips of pine here as a cause that we don't mark the edge of our timber. Hi guys, welcome back to the workshop. Day 2. Yesterday was a bit of a disaster of a day. Like I said in the video earlier, it was a lovely rainy day here in Ireland, and I knew it wasn't going to work out to be a good day. I had too much on, trying to fit in a little bit of project work, rush a few other jobs, and getting phone calls in between as well to run out and help a neighbour there and stuff like that. So just a busy day, and of course my planer thicknesser decided to misbehave itself as well, so I'm not sure, I don't have that fully fixed yet, so I'm going to have to look at that at a later point. So anyway, here we are, day 2, starting fresh. Just had a beer last night, forgot all about it, and got up this morning, cup of tea, and yeah. So I didn't bother recording some of the stuff, but I was just preparing some of the material. So what I have done is, as I've said, I've changed the top to the maple and legs to the oak, and I've just dimensioned up the 2 oak side pieces here. Just 2 blanks at the moment. What I will do is I'm going to shape a little curve into these, just a little decorative feature, but just so that they're not just square blanks on the ends. I've also got some teak here. So these pieces of teak had a finish on them, so I just sanded those down back to bare wood. And so the idea then will be that the the teak will sandwich the oak as a headpiece and a kind of a foot, if you like, for just to add a bit more features to it. Really is all that is. And the maple came out really well. The maple actually came out really well. Little bit disappointed in the glue joint. Usually with Tung and Grove flooring, there's a slight bevel on the joint, on the finished surface, that kind of masks any hairline cracks that you'd see in a joint, so you wouldn't really see it. It's more of a feature. But when I've used the Tung and Grove as it is, it's not perfect. Now I'll show you what I mean. Hopefully this will, yeah, you can kind of see that line. The line, although for the most part it is closed up, it's still a very obvious line in it. So future reference, I think I'll rip this and joint any edges I glue up. But I have to say that the figuring that you see in that grain in the maple there is lovely. So that's actually quite nice. Now, the only sad thing about this is, as it's a dog bowl feeder, as I said, I have to cut two big bloody circles out of this, so you're going to lose a lot of the grain pattern in that. But look, this is what it is. I've moored this maple, so I look forward to using this again now, because God, when you plane it down and expose that grain, it looks fantastic. So anyway, next step, put a bit of a decorative design on the side pieces, just a slight curve to it. Like I said, I don't have a bandsaw. I'm going to give it a go on the scroll saw. It is oak, so if it puts the scroll saw under too much pressure, I'll just get the jigsaw out and just sand it up after. I will be dimensioning these teak feet as well to size, and just putting a little chamfer on the ends of them as well, just to kind of not have a square cut on them. And yeah, so I'm going to do those and then we'll jump back in. Okay guys, so I've got my side pieces now cut with a little decorative curve and just hit it with a round over and give them a bit of a sand up. So this is the underside of my top, so we put those there. I've also cut the teak feet, so what we will have, and I've put a little 45-degree bevel on the end of those, so they will go on the top like so, and then these will go like so, and then the feet again. Like, I'm just going to glue and screw these now. So we'll glue and screw those, and then we will also glue and screw to the underside. That's very rough, but that's the joinery we're going to go with. So I'm going to just glue and screw the leg components for the moment, and then we're going to move on to cutting out the circles for the dishes. So we'll do that next, and then we'll jump back in. Okay guys, just to jump back in here for a second. So to center my legs on the feet, I've got some 5mm glazing packers here. That just works out to within 1/2 mil for my dimensions. So I just got 2 glazing packers, sit that there and sit the 2 of them, and that centers the middle piece of the leg with the feet. Okay, and then the other thing I've done is I've marked my center of my foot and the center of my leg, and when I'm gluing up I need to just line those 2 marks up with each other on both ends, and that just means it's all even and it's all equal. So I got a little top tip there, and this is coming from the Era workshop. So Tommy over the Era workshop there is actually an experienced, qualified joiner, cabinet maker. He's very, very knowledgeable, and I really enjoy his channel. So big shout out to Tommy there. But I seen Tommy do this actually, funnily enough, and I think it's a handy little tip. So just a roofing square on your table, clamped onto the table so that you can butt your piece into the corner there, and so it keeps the legs and everything nice and square. You've got 2 reference angles which are at 90 degrees, and it just keeps everything strong and tight. So when you glue and screw now, I can glue and screw, and I can screw in from this side because I'm on the table end. So handy little tip. So shout out to Tommy in the Era workshop there. Go like and subscribe to his page if you haven't. He's doing great. I really enjoy his page. So yeah, we'll keep going now with these. Either that glue is very cold or I have a blockage. So I've just drilled and countersunk 2 holes there, just so the screw heads don't protrude. One leg. So I now have my 2 legs made up. So I'm going to move on to cutting the holes out of my top. So my top measures 400mm by 210mm, and the outer diameter of my balls is 166mm. So I'm going to measure in 105mm from each end, and that's going to be the center of my 2 holes. And what that basically will give me is an even spacing of my 3 gaps from my edge to my dish, between my dishes and edge to dish. That will leave approximately 22mm. I'm not going to fuss over a millimeter here or there, but it's 22, 22, 22. is what that leaves me with. So I obviously have to allow for the lip of the dish to be able to sit on top of the hole. So my diameter that I'm looking for is 146 millimeters. Every dish will be different, so everyone's measurements will be different, but 146 millimeters is what I'm looking for. And what I'm going to attempt to do, as I don't have a circle jig, is use my router fence. This could be a disaster. I'm going to use my router fence, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some double-sided tape and a sacrificial sheet, and I'm going to tape the board onto the sheet and clamp the board to the work table here so that it won't move. I'm then going to take my router with the arm of my fence, and I'm hoping that if I want 146, it's going to be tight, but the narrowest point on my fence here I reckon will work out. That if I fix it to the center of the hole, I will be able to use that as the pivot point to circle the router around. So I'm going to give this a go, because failing that, it's drill a hole and hog it out really with the jigsaw, which again is fine, but we'll give this a go and see how we get on. So I'll have a go at this, see if it works out. It might be a bit tight just because of the diameter of the hole is so small. We'll give it a go. If not, the jigsaw's back up, so we'll go with that either way. Okay, so we'll do that now. Okay guys, that didn't quite work out like I planned. Predicted it was going to happen, but sure, it's all a learning process. My little circle jig did actually work out. So I took the fence and a scrap piece of plywood and I drilled a hole exactly where I needed my center of my circle to be, and that was working really well. It's my impatience that went wrong, and I plunged the router too deep on the first pass in the circle, and I snapped my bit. So had to resolve to the jigsaw. And then hit it with a round over bit. So it's not perfect, but we got the job done in the end. And at the end of the day, our balls are going to sit in there nicely. So we hit it with the round over bit, and it's actually not too bad. So we'll take that for our first attempt. So now on to assembly. So again, it's going to be nice and simple. Glue and screw. You will see a screw from the underneath, but I'll plug it. I'm not too worried about it. But that's assembly there now. That's what it's going to look like. And then when I have it assembled, we'll jump back in when I'm applying a bit of finish. That's the nice bit at the end. So yep, onto that step. So okay guys, there it is. Mountain out of a molehill for me, but sure, first project in the workshop, I suppose. Well, not the first project, but the first project I've recorded properly for sake of YouTube. So there it is, all finished. And I just added a little brace piece across the bottom as well, just to stiffen it up. So maple top, oak sides, teak each end of that, teak feet, and a little teak brace. So I'm going to give this a little drop of Danish oil, and we'll see what this looks like. I can get the childproof cap open.